Good afternoon, Duck fans, and welcome to our first ever student-athlete interview. I'm joined by sophomore wrestler Ryan Bridge. Ryan wrestles at 141 pounds for our Stevens Wrestling. Ryan, thanks for joining us, spending a couple minutes.
Thanks for having me.
First off, you kind of had a little bit of a different route getting to Stevens. Can you talk a little bit about that, about the past couple years and how you ended up at Stevens?
I started off at Cornell University, coming straight out of high school, and then I ended up enlisting into the Marine Corps. Was there for 4 years, got out this August, and started attending Stevens.
Coming from Cornell, I guess what about Stevens? You know, Cornell's Division I, Stevens Division III. I guess what about Stevens brought you here? What was the attractive point of it?
The big attractions to Stevens were the location, being pretty close, and from New Jersey myself, and also the job placement out of the school is excellent.
It is a great location. The year 2009-10 more specifically, you started off injured. You came in with a torn meniscus. What was that like? Was it hard? Was it motivating for you? And I guess how long did it take for you to feel 100% again?
It was very hard, actually. In the beginning of the year, I just wanted to come out, have a good first season, and then I had to watch the first couple tournaments on the sideline, going to practice every day, not being able to work out. And then with weight control, I wasn't able to work out, so it was heavy, not where I wanted to be for my weight class.
Despite missing that time, being injured, you had a great record, 19-4. I guess what went right for you? What were some of the keys to your success?
I'd say the good practices we had and having great workout partners throughout the year.
Talk a little bit about those workout partners. If there was one guy that you could kind of pinpoint, what was that guy? Who was there really kind of pushing you to that next level?
That would definitely be Joe Favia. We had a really good chemistry in the room. We were able to work out very well together.
Ryan, speaking of Joe Favia, he also is a sophomore. Both Ryan, Joe Favia, and Bobby Bishop all made the NCAAs this year. Had a great year for Stevens Wrestling. At the conference championships, there's no two ways around it. You dominated from your first match to the actual championship bout. How and why? I guess what was going right? Were you at the peak of your ability at that time? Talk a little bit about the championships.
Yeah, the championships, that's where we geared a peak for the season. Usually training through a lot of the tournaments and matches during the year to peak just right for that championship bout, and that's how it worked out, so everything went well.
I'm sure, yeah, went well for you, and everyone at Stevens was pretty happy. Does it affect you? Some of those guys, you saw earlier in the year, you had already wrestled against them. Does that help you? Does that help them, or is it kind of, a moot point?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably mood.
We'll go on to the NCAAs. After winning the conference championship, you get the automatic berth into the NCAAs. You were paired against the #1 ranked wrestler in the country. You dropped that bout, but you came back and had a great showing at the tournament, placing 5th overall. I guess how do you stay focused after losing that first match? How were you able to be so successful?
Just taking one match at a time. I couldn't look past trying to medal right away. It was just preparing for that one that I had in front of me and winning each individual one.
At a tournament, especially the NCAAs, the big you've been training all year to get there. Did you find yourself getting down a little bit after dropping that, or is it just something you're just the kind of person that can just push that right away and just continue and keep your eyes straight ahead?
Yeah, at first I was down, but you can't harp on that too much, or else the next match is going to come up real quick on you, and you're not going to have a good showing in that one.
I think you went 4-2 overall. You finished 5th in the nation. That 5th place finish is good for an All-American finish. You're just the 2nd All-American in the history of Stevens Wrestling. I guess what does that mean to you? Yeah, what does it mean?
It's an honor being there with Brandon McWhinney, and hopefully we get some more, so we're not the only two there.
Well, that was my next question. Your goals as a wrestler in the future. Is your goal to get back to the NCAAs, match a 5th place finish, win a national championship? When you start next year, what are you looking to do?
Next year, the goal is definitely a national championship. This year, I just want to have fun with it, but then after actually being out there at the show and losing that first one kind of brought back a lot of hunger for it.
And you did lose that first one, but it was I think it was a very good match. So despite losing that, it probably almost gives you a little bit of confidence going back there, knowing that you can compete with someone like that.
Yes, definitely.
A couple of lighter questions to kind of finish things off. If you weren't wrestling, what sport would you play?
I would play baseball. It's one of the sports that I've always had the most fun with. Stopped playing in 8th grade, but always wished I could continue it.
Now you're from South Jersey. I have some friends from South Jersey. Does that mean you're a Phillies fan, or do you like the teams up north?
Phillies fan.
Yes, a lot of people from South Jersey do like the Phillies. I'm a Mets fan, so we're still able to sit in the same room. If there were role models, I guess who are they? Inside of sports and then outside of sports.
Outside of sports, I definitely have to say my parents. Very hardworking, determined people.
And then inside?
Go against you again with the Nats. I have to go with my boy Chase Utley, who, after playing so many games, he always shows that strong work ethic out on the field every day.
He does. It's not a bad person to, I guess, model your athletic work ethic out of. And then, I guess if you had an athlete that you most wanted to be like or envy, specifically maybe a wrestler, because some people don't know that much about wrestling, is there a specific wrestler, famous, not famous, that you would try to model yourself after?
I wouldn't really say so. I mean, I guess you could say Callis Anderson. He wins every match just about, but other than that, not really.
Fair enough. That's all I got for you. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully we'll get back next year, win a national championship. Maybe you'll have nice national championship trophy ring sit in between us. But fans, thanks for joining us. We hope to see you soon, and special thanks to Ryan Bridge.